You read in the Quran, Surah Saad, and ayah 72, 71, 72, 73, and 74, and 76. إِذْ قَالَ رَبُّكَ لِلْمَلَائِكَةِ إِنِّي خَالِقٌ بَشَرًا مِّن طِينٍ فَإِذَا سَوَّيْتُهُ وَنَفَخْتُ فِيهِ مِن رُّوحِي فَقَعُوا لَهُ سَاجِدِينَ فَسَجَدَ الْمَلَائِكَةُ كُلُّهُمْ أَجْمَعُونَ إِلَّا إِبْلِيسَ اسْتَكْبَرَ وَكَانَ مِنَ الْكَافِرِينَ قَالَ أَنَا خَيْرٌ مِّنْهُ خَلَقْتَنِي مِن نَّارٍ وَخَلَقْتَهُ مِن طِينٍ. When your Lord said for the angels, surely I am the creator of the human from clay. When I have made him even or proportionate and breathed into him from my spirit, the ruh, then fall down prostrating for him. So the angels prostrated, all of them together, except Iblis, the devil, who seek or sought greatness and became from the rejectors. He said, I am the better one from him. You created me from fire and created him from clay. Now, in this ayah, you will note that Allah has bestowed this ruh, the essence, in the bashar, the human. And once he has breathed the spirit, the essence in the bashar, he asked the angels to bow down for that bashar. Why? Because he has put his essence in that bashar, the human. So essence of what? Allah's book, Allah's ayahs. And people have been asking me this question, that bowing is for Allah alone. Why did the Allah ask to bow down for Adam or the bashar? Allah did not ask to only bow down for Adam. He asked the angels to bow down after he has put his essence in that bashar, the spirit, the ruh, and his ruh, his essence and the spirit. The bashar that contains the essence, the spirit, you have to bow down for that person because he contains the essence, the spirit. So in other words, all mankind has got the ruh, the spirit of Allah in him. But it has to be inspired. It has to be inspired by Allah. Then you understand. So in this ayah you note, إِذْ قَالَ رَبُّكَ لِلْمَلَائِكَةِ إِنِّي خَالِقٌ بَشْرًا مِّن طِينٍ. And when your Lord said for the angels, surely I am the creator of a human from clay. فَإِذَا سَوَّيْتُهُ. When I have made him even and proportionate, that human, and breathe into him from my ruh, the spirit. وَنَفَخْتُ فِيهِ مِن رُوحِي. When I breathe, not physical breathe, but inspiration, the breathe my spirit, the essence in that bashar. فَقَعُوا لَهُ سَاجِدِينَ. Then you bow down for that person, that bashar, because I have breathed my spirit, my essence. My essence means you can understand the Allah's message, Allah's words, His essence, the spirit. You bow down for that person. So every human being contains the spirit. And when I am speaking, you can differentiate my words with the essence, the spirit of Allah's words. You can differentiate when I speak and when ayahs is being spoken, you can feel the difference. That when I say, فَإِذَا سَوَّيْتُهُ, when I have made him even and breathe into him from my ruh, the spirit, then fall down prostrating for him. These are not my words. This is the essence or the spirit of the words of Allah. Then when Allah has breathed His spirit, the essence, into the bashar, then He orders the angels to bow down for that bashar. So that is how you understand the spirit. You can make a difference that I am pointing towards that spirit. This is me reading the ayahs. You can differentiate the words of Allah, the ayahs of Allah, and me talking. So the angels prostrated, all of them together, to the bashar containing the spirit, containing the essence, except Iblis, who sought greatness and became from the rejectors. Now Iblis means the person who is wrapped up in grief. Who is wrapped up in grief. Iblis. He did not bow down for the bashar containing the spirit. And look what he says, the argument. He says, Qala ana khairum minhu khalaqtani min nar wa khalaqtahu min teen. He did not bow down for that, but the human being which containing the spirit, the essence, the spirit, the essence, and he diverted the order in an argument about the creation, that you have created me from fire and you have created the bashar, the human, by clay. The order was to bow down to a person containing the spirit. The order was this. But he just minus the spirit, exclude the spirit. And he's pointing toward that I should bow down to a person who has been born, or you created him from clay and me from fire. A baseless argument. And you will note, whenever the Allah's ayat, the essence, are clear to mankind, he gets confused and start talking on certain words, false standards, self-created standards. What is fire and what is earth? If you just start comparing, look, the fire is the creation of the fire is more important, or the fire, the creation of clay is not equivalent or is lower. You know, in an argument which doesn't require. The order was to bow down for that bashar who contains the spirit. You reject that and you pick up an issue that the fire is more valuable, or the clay is lesser of a value. That you created that man, the bashar, from clay, and you have created me from fire. So what I'm saying is, this is how the spirit is always minused by mankind, because the knowledge of it is given little. Always man get confused and start talking and debating on certain aspects and issues which are of no importance in comparison to Allah's ayahs and the essence of the message. That is important. You have to look at the message. The message was to bow down for Adam or bashar, which contained the spirit, the essence. We have to bow down because, and in the world, you will note that mankind, not physical, I've seen physical bowing to people. Mankind is bowing physically to a human being. And psychologically also, they are submitting to man, not the essence contained in that person. They are physically giving respect to human beings. They are bowing to man, the human beings, not the essence. And look how mankind, Allah has provided us and explained us. Whenever we recite an ayah in salah, the prayer, the imam, the leader, he reads an ayahs. You listen to the ayahs. The essence of an ayat you understand or not, but you listen to the ayats in Arabic text. And what happens? The imam doesn't stand, he bows. And all of the people bows to the ayahs, prostrate to the ayahs, the imam himself. And we all follow that. So we all are following, bowing and prostrating to what? To the ayats of Allah, to the essence of Allah. So that is how Allah has taught us in the prayers, that when our ayahs are recited, you bow and prostrate to it. Psychologically, if you understood the message, you can't stand. You have to pay respect by bowing and prostrating and agreeing to the essence. Agreeing to the essence. Not just physical bowing and prostrating, not understanding anything. The Imam doesn't stand and delivers the talk and expects people to bow down, but in the world, the contrary is happening, that mankind are asking questions, knowledge from a man. And that man can say anything. And people believe in that, trust in that. They don't trust the trustworthy spirit that is the spirit of Allah, Ruhul Amin, the Ruhul Qudus, but they trust the human beings. And this is done by the devil, because he is the person who minus the spirit in the beginning, creating a false standard, fire and clay, diverting from the spirit, minusing the spirit. What was the order? Was to bow down for Adam, for Bashar. So now we have come to know from this ayah that the spirit, the essence, is contained in every human being, but it has to be inspired. When we deliver, whenever a talk is being delivered, everybody, human being in the hall, or wherever this lecture is being listened, you are listening two things: I talking, and at the same time reciting the ayahs. And once you are trying to listening to that, you should make a difference between me and the essence that you are receiving from the ayahs. We have come to know that the Bashar contains the spirit. So everybody contains the spirit of Allah. So he must recognize the spirit of Allah when it is being spoken, when the words of Allah is being spoken, because it is in him. How will you judge? How a person can judge that it is from Allah or it is a human talking? So Allah has given this spirit in every human being to analyze from that spirit. He can make a difference between a man and the spirit. When the spirit of Allah is being spoken, when the ayahs are being spoken, he can make a difference, because the words of Allah are the words of Allah, is the book of Allah. So those words, from that words you can understand the spirit. And when human beings speak, it is his spirit. He is trying to convey something. That is his. But once you listen to the words, how will you analyze? Because you have got the spirit, everybody has got the spirit of Allah in him. So he must be able to recognize and can make a difference between the spirit of Allah and a human spirit. Now, you know, this spirit was also given to Adam, all mankind, and especially it describes that it was given to Maryam alayhi salam.